Hi guys, welcome back. So if you saw my Friday Reads video recently, I mentioned that I was taking part in ShakeTube 2017. It's a read-along over 15 weeks, where every week we read a different Shakespeare play, and it's hosted by Lukash Books, and every Friday we're supposed to kind of upload our reaction to the play. Now this is coming in a day late because I kind of decided to start a bit late. I started reading the play Thursday night at about 10 o'clock in the evening. Having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't read for very long, and by the time I got home I only read a little bit before bed. So I literally finished it Saturday afternoon, which is about Saturday 6 o'clock right now, so I'm kind of filming my reaction today. I'll try and stay a little bit more on schedule with the coming weeks. But the first week we read The Taming of the Shrew. Now this is a play that I had never physically read before. My only kind of encounter with it was the Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor movie that I saw when I was very young. And I remembered some of it, the basic kind of plot of it. One of the things I did not remember was the plot, the play within a play aspect of it. When you first start reading The Taming of the Shrew, it opens up with this lord who comes across a peasant who's drunk, blind drunk, and decides to play a trick on him and pretend that he's actually a nobleman and he's married. One of his men dress up as a woman pretending to be this peasant's wife, and they play this elaborate kind of ruse on him and then put on a play for him, which is basically the Taming of the Shrew, which we come to read. I didn't understand that whole part of the play. We never come back to those characters really, other than a slight mention of them, and I don't understand quite the role that they play as a part of this. I think it could have just been the basic play without the play within a play part of it. So the main plot of The Taming of the Shrew is we have a gentleman named Battista who has two daughters. The youngest daughter, very beautiful, her name is Bianca. She has several suitors that want to marry her, but he refuses to let anybody marry his youngest daughter until his oldest daughter, Katharina, is married. The problem is she is the shrew in the title of the book. She's very opinionated, headstrong, very argumentative. No suitor wants to get anywhere near her. They're terrified of her. And what I found about this particular book, there seems to be a lot of people playing parts that they're not. They're all pretending to be somebody else. Kind of like in the very beginning, where this nobleman is trying to make believe that this guy is somebody else, trying to convince him he's a nobleman, and then another person's playing his wife. Well, we kind of have that within here, too. We have, of the suitors of Bianca, two of them wanting to get closer to her, pretend to be other people. They give themselves different names. They say they are tutors, musicians, and go to teach her, so kind of be able to woo her behind her father's back. We have some of their servants pretend to be, in one case, pretend to be one of these guys, and then there's another person pretending to be one of these guys' father. A lot of people playing kind of different parts, which was kind of intriguing. But our other main characters are Katharina, the shrew in this case, and Petruchio, I think it is. No, Petruchio. I can't figure out how to pronounce these names. He decides to take on the challenge of wooing Catherine, taming the shrew. Now, there's certain aspects of this that kind of bothered me. In today's day and age, we see it from a different perspective than perhaps the way women were kind of treated in Shakespeare's day. But he kind of tries to wear her down and almost like by just being as equally shrewd back to her, not trying to woo her romantically. It's just like the opposite, basically, being almost worse than she is. And of course, he's putting that on. He's pretending to be that, really. Again, playing a role that isn't really him. And he wears her down to the point where, through either not feeding her or not allowing her to sleep, to kind of taking out whatever he says. He says the sun is the moon, or the moon is the sun, and to the point where it wears her down till she's saying that 2 + 2 = 5. Shades of 1984 here. It was a little creepy on that aspect of it. But there are some humorous aspects to it. I don't generally, haven't generally read any of the comedies. Sadly lacking on my side. I don't know why. I always kind of gravitated towards the histories or the tragedies. So with this read-along, I'm kind of looking forward to diving into some plays I've never probably would have picked up. So I definitely recommend you guys to give this a try. Don't let Shakespeare scare you. There's all sorts of versions out there. There's the No Fair Shakespeare series that has literally more contemporary English on one side and Shakespeare's original text on the other. I do not have one of those, although I might decide to pick that up on some plays where I think I might have some trouble with. But overall, I did enjoy this play. I found a lot of interesting points to it, and interesting characters. There's just sometimes a little trouble keeping track of them all, since in some cases they were playing multiple roles, like I said. But I did enjoy it, so I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'll try and keep, actually very looking forward to the next one, I should say, because that one's Richard III, one of my favorites, and it's been a while since I've revisited that, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting into that, and hopefully upload that on the proper day on Friday. So I will see you then. Hope you guys enjoy this, and hope you decide to take part in it. Bye-bye.